So, introduce myself. My name is Rebecca Burton, and I currently work for the Playwrights Guild of Canada. And my lifelong passions have been theatre and feminism and also history. We'd have to put the history in there. In terms of my journey in my life, I guess it started off and was very much formulated by the fact that I have a single mother. I was born in 1969, and where I was born and raised in Toronto in the East End, it was not common to have a single mom. There was one other family in my school, so a little bit of a stigma there. She was also very young. She had me when she was 18. So she led her life and learned by doing and became a feminist herself, though I don't know if she would use that label. But very early on, she was confronted with a lot of challenges and barriers and told she couldn't do certain things because she was a woman. So she passed all that down onto me inadvertently, and I always had this great thing with injustice since I was very small. Really short anecdote would be being in kindergarten and watching the movie with Winnie the Pooh where he eats too much honey and he gets stuck in his hole, and he can't get in or out. And people thought this was really funny, and I thought it was very sad and disturbing, and I cried hysterically and was very worried about Winnie the Pooh starving to death or getting stuck in his hole and having to wait to be thin again. So that's one small example. So that was very much part of who I was. I was told I was a sensitive kid, and then later, oh, you're an artsy kid, and that explains these feelings. Yeah, so there was that. And then my interest in theater, I guess, started with music. Music was my first love, like so many people, listening to records that were my mother's and my grandparents' in their basement. And then I had two close girlfriends, and we started acting out the songs. We would take the different parts and play the different roles. So for example, Leslie Gore, It's My Party, and then she had It's Judy's Turn to Cry. So we would act out these narratives. And my friend Effie, her parents were tailors, and she would bring costumes along into it. So we started to play that way. Then my mother said, oh, okay, I see there is an interest and a passion here. And she looked around for some drama groups for me and found one. It was called Jesters, and it was out mostly in the East End in Scarborough. So I joined the Jesters group, and you would pay money and perform these little skits, and your parents would come. And then they would invite certain people to join Jesters Plus. So this was the group where they would write plays, Christmas shows, and stuff like that, and you would get roles and perform them. That translated into summer work for me in the end when I was like 12 and 13. I worked at the exhibition one year, and I worked at Ontario Place one year where we would do 5 or 6 shows a day. We were like 14-year-olds doing shows for 8-year-olds. So one of my starring roles was Bo Peep. And that was good. So that was sort of my foray into all of that. The neighborhood I grew up in, there wasn't a lot of artistic people. I was a very working class neighborhood, and I very quickly found like I didn't fit in, I didn't belong, and started searching for places where I did. So by grade 10, I ended up going to the Etobicoke School of the Arts, and my mother frequently says that saved my life. So it was great to go there, to discover all these other fabulous people, and a very creative place. It was great. It also had a downside for me, though.